Waiting is something that can come across as really hard to do in our modern world, connected by technology and the internet. When we want something, it is, in some ways, instantaneous, or at least a short drive away for many. Because of this, for some, waiting seems like something that should be avoided. That any slight delay for something to happen is seen as an instant inconvenience and a good reason to become distraught. At the end of the day, the quickest, most convenient option is what we choose to pursue. And I'm not one to speak. I've never been the most patient person by any means. Usually whenever I take something on, like a specific task or job, I want to get it done right, sure, but I want to do it efficiently. I want to make sure I can do that job, do it well, and most importantly, do it in a timely manner so I can move on to whatever the next thing is on the list. That's a pretty rational mindset, at least in my eyes. After all, what's wrong with trying to be efficient with my time, right? The issue arises, however, when something decides to go wrong. When the computer just won't work right, or when that one animal decides it wants to do the exact opposite of whatever I wanted it to do. You know, the type of things that happen when you have one of those days where everything tries to fight you. We all have them. Before I know it, I've wasted half an hour or more just trying to fix what's gone wrong, and all I see is a loss of time rather than resolving a necessary problem. And there's nothing that aggravates me more than using more time than planned or more time than I see necessary on a specific task. It's not just wanting to be efficient to get things done, it's me being impatient, lacking understanding that things, no matter how much you prepare or try, don't always go to plan. Another very recent example of this I can think of, for me, is with my cell phone situation. Since I've had a phone, it's always been an iPhone, and I've been very invested in the jailbreaking scene. I'm a tech enjoyer that likes to tinker, what can I say? When my XS that was jailbreakable broke, however, I was forced to upgrade to a newer phone that was on a software version that couldn't be jailbroken. 2 years later, I still have the same phone on the same exact version as I got it, and to this day, its iOS can't be jailbroke. Now, with the next newest version's beta out, I've been tempted to upgrade to that, and I've also been considering switching to an Android phone altogether, for more freedom over my device. I had been patient for years, but I'm slowly growing out of that patience. Yet, as I weigh the pros and cons of my situation, I continue to possess that restraint and never update or upgrade, but it becomes increasingly harder to hold out. And that's another thing about patience. It could very possibly go unrewarded. You can hold out and wait for better things or what you want, but it's also very possible those things may not come to you. In some cases, it's actually beneficial to be impatient, to go out and seize what you want for yourself by taking initiative. Building off of that, patience also shouldn't be confused with complacency, another thing that can harm your goals. Patience, like with many things in life, comes with its own nuances. Waiting for things is alright, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, if you yearn for change, if you really want something to happen, going out and getting it is beneficial, if not sometimes needed too. You can't sit, complain about your situation, and expect things to get better eventually without you taking some action first. Life requires decisions, and those include whether to wait around or make a move. Recognize when to hold off, when to have faith that time will allow things to work out better. Don't get ahead of yourself or get frustrated when things just take a little more time than anticipated. The world may seem fast-paced, but the best things in life come from the most dedication and time. Don't be afraid to devote a little extra just to make sure things are right, to do them properly and at your own pace. Patience, not complacency, is often rewarded more than it isn't. And thank you for being patient with me as I ramble my way through this video. It's incredibly meaningful to me that you're willing to hear my thoughts and sit through whatever I may choose to talk about. Again, I appreciate the support, and I'll catch you in the next one.